Morning, my name's Lee Mallon and I am the CTO and co-founder of Yalpop. And today I'm going to walk you through what's going to be our first public release of the product, Yalpop 1.5. So for those who don't know what Yalpop is trying to reinvent how we learn and how we turn content into knowledge. And we do this through two main ways. The first is we've created the most comprehensive and advanced course creation platform for creators to turn their blogs, their podcasts, their videos, their books, their course materials, wherever it may be, into a structured, engaging, and accelerated learning course. And for you as a learner, we've created the most accelerated learning platform in existence, where we can turn courses and your learning profiles together to create a personalized course that suits how you best learn. But it's much better for me to show you than to keep talking about it, so let me do that. So we go over to yalpop.com, we're greeted with the homepage where we have three potential routes. The first is where we can learn about how we learn and get some insight into our subconscious learning process. We can also learn a new skill, which is where we can go to one of our creator channels, or we can look on the Yalpop marketplace, or we can create a course. Now, course creation is only open to our partner network for the time being. So if you have an audience or existing content, or you're a business that you want to turn some of your procedures into course material for your employees, please reach out at yalpop.com/partners. But today I'm going to basically take a new course and show you that process. And if there's time at the end, I'm going to show you how we're able to create such a great course effectively. Now, once we've put in our email address and our password to create an account, we'll be taken to the Yalpop quiz. Now, this is a 20-question multiple choice quiz. There is no wrong answer. It should take you 4 minutes maximum. And basically, these questions just help us build up your cognitive preferences to be able to personalize your course. Now, for the purpose of the demo, I'm just going to click some random answers here. And then once I've complete, I'm going to finish the assessment. Now that assessment is now going to turn into what is called your learning profile. And from your learning profile, we're going to extract some learning insights. I'm going to give you this report with some tips and tricks that will help you learn on Yalpop, but also just in everyday life. Okay, so now it's generated our insight report. We can go in here and we can just have a quick read to see the practical tips it's presented to us, and also just some information into our learning preferences. This is a great way to get a bit of insight into how your brain operates when it's learning. Now, once we've got our report, we want to kind of take a course. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drop over to our demo channel. So when creators come to the Yalpop platform, they get given a channel. And that channel can house one or many courses, which you can take free courses, you can buy a one-off course, or as you can see here, you can buy an unlimited pass to all the courses on their channel. So here is the course on how to basically grow pineapples if you live in a city apartment. Now, if we go to the course detail page, what we can see here is every course has a title, the description, a price, if it's free, paid, or within the subscription. And then we outline how many lessons, how many modules, what you're going to learn from this particular course, and what the course is containing. And courses are split into modules, typically with 3 lessons within them, as you can see here. And each course comes with a 30-second intro video, not about the course, but what the purpose of that lesson is.
Welcome to Indoor Pineapple Growth, a course where urban spaces transform into tropical retreats. Today, we explore the basics of sustainable indoor gardening.
Now that's Steve, one of our instructors. Steve does not exist. Now I'm going to take this course by purchasing. So now my payment has been taken for the course. The course is now going to be generated. Unlike other platforms where once you've made a payment, you're then given a PDF or a video or an audio file to consume a course, which is just a one-size-fits-all thing. Our platform takes what we call our course meta content and your personal preferences and basically creates a personalized version of the course for you. So if we go into here now, what we can see is this particular lesson is currently being personalized to our preferences. Our benefits lesson has been completed. Okay, so now when we go into the lesson itself, We are presented back with the purpose. So this is our video of Steve talking.
Welcome to our lesson on indoor pineapple gardening. Discover practical techniques and essential sustainability insights that transform your living space into a lush, green retreat. Learn how to boost urban health while mastering the art.
Okay, but also the lesson content itself can be delivered textually, audibly, and also through presentation video. And the reason for this is basically we all kind of consume and absorb knowledge differently. But as you will have seen when we landed in the lesson, it defaulted to auditory. So therefore, this particular profile, when I filled in that quiz, is obviously a primarily auditory person. Now, even if I was going to read or watch it, what you'll notice is that the language within here is still auditory language, even if you're going to read it, because that will just make it much more easier for you to absorb. Now, within the lesson itself, we have the ability to mark the lesson as completed once we're finished, and you can also report a lesson for any particular reason. Lessons are made up of the purpose, what's the purpose of the lesson, what are you going to be learning, the content, what's the knowledge that we want to kind of impart upon you, and then there's typically an exercise, and an exercise is a practical task which is there to reinforce and also to kind of help explain what the knowledge is. Now, currently, this exercise is task area is text-based, but we're going to be releasing in the next month or so something very, very cool and interactive into this area. Little tease there. And then we have a reflection stage, so reflecting on what you've learned and how you can use that in other aspects. And then we can finish off with a quiz. So these quiz questions are completely created from our platform, and they're not there for you to be tested on. It's there for you to have a point in time where you can reflect on this particular outcome. So here you can see I can just evaluate the answers and it will tell you all the answers, but it's just a way for you just to select what you think is right and just do a bit of self-evaluation. And then once you've done your quiz questions, we're then able to see what's going to come next with the next lesson, and then go to the next lesson and personalize that forward. Now, once we've completed all of our lessons by we'll mark this one as completed, we can go over to the completion certification page. Now, we're going to do something quite advanced and quite innovative around assessments and certifications, but for the time being, a completion certificate is basically just have you completed all of the lessons and all of the modules. And then very soon in the next few weeks, we'll be releasing assessments, which is a way to actually validate and potentially certify your knowledge of this particular course. So that is how you get to take a Yalpop course on the program. Now, what I want to show you now is the behind the scenes. So this is our course creation platform and how we're able to create a course on any topic for any ability. Okay, so here's a little peek of our course creation tool. Now, a course creation tool is set up into 7 parts. The first one is the uploading of content. So you can basically upload all of this content around the knowledge that you want to share. And that content can be in the form of videos, documents, PDFs, Word files. It can be a transcription of a YouTube video. It can be a book. We can take all of that content, and then from that, we're able to construct a course outline. So as you can see here, we've uploaded some content around pineapple growth, and then we move to the next step, and this is our course outline. This is what we're able to extract from that knowledge and turn it into what's the learning objectives. These are the modules, and then for each module there's a lesson, and for each lesson there is an overview, the topic it's going to cover, and what the learning outcome of that lesson is. So now after we've created the outline, we create what's called the truth graph. And the truth graph is there to basically hone in the truth of our course to make sure that the course is telling the truth and also can then be assessed or validated to that truth. The editor for this is coming soon, and at the moment it's all done behind the scenes. And now once we have our truth graph and our outline, we can start creating the course content itself. And the course content is generated from our platform, and as you can see here, through our lessons. And each lesson has a purpose, it has content, it has an exercise, and it has what is called further understanding, which is just to submit how you could use this in other areas for reflection, what's going to be next on the next lesson, and then what we call a learning validator, which is at the moment our quiz. Now, the great thing about this is All this content obviously is generated for our platform, but you're able to easily override this content here, and tweak it as a creator. So if something's not quite right, or you want to expand on it or choose a different exercise, you can do so. And then we have settings. And settings is basically what is going to display on your course page. How is this going to be sold? What's the price point going to be? Are we going to enable video support? Are we going to have trailers? We also have the option to promote on our marketplace. So creators in our system have channels, and that's where all their courses are, but they have the ability to put their course also on the marketplace, which is then accessible from yalpop.com. And if you do enable what is called media assets, then you get access to generating these introductory kind of lesson overviews for each of the lessons. And once we've finished all that, we go to our course preview, which kind of just shows us everything that we have set up and gives us the ability to preview the course using our own preferences to make sure it's what we expect before we press the publish button. Now that is version 1.5 of Yalpop. I hope you're eager to try it. If you want, you can go to yalpop.com/pineapple and take the free Pineapple course today. For anyone who's looking to turn their content into a course, please get in touch with us at yalpop.com/partners. Have a great